combustible on the interior. Type 5 is any type of material. It's usually combustible material that's allowed per the building code. Now, wood can play a role in most of those types of construction. Type 3 construction, there's an exception in the code that allows fire retardant treated wood on the exterior of the wall. So basically, a type 3 construction can be an all wood building. Type 4 construction, similar to type 3, is it requires exterior walls to be non-combustible. Now with the 2015 code, cross-laminated timber is allowed in the exterior walls with either a 15/32 inch fire retardant treated plywood on the exterior walls or 5/8 drywall on the exterior walls. It also allows it in the floor as long as the minimum thickness of that floor is 4 inches. In addition, it's allowed in the roof as long as the thickness of the panel is 3 inches. So basically, you can have an entire building of cross-laminated timber under heavy timber construction. Now, within type 3 construction, there's a requirement of fire resistance rating. And under the current code, there is no fire resistance provisions for cross-laminated timber. But to meet those provisions, one is you could do the calculated method. Also, you can utilize the testing that was done by American Wood Council, which showed that an assembly of 5 plies of cross-laminated timber with 5/8 inch jip on each side can last beyond the 2-hour resistance rating, up to 3 hours and 6 minutes. The fire test that was performed was ASTM E119, and that's a requirement within the code. You would think you could get a bigger building with type 2 construction because it's non-combustible, but really you can get the same height and same square footage with heavy timber construction, and a lot of architects and designers out there aren't really aware of that because they're not that familiar with heavy timber construction. Sprinklers allow you to go 1 story higher. Also, sprinklers allow you to increase your square footage within that building. And then also, type 3, type 4, and type 5 construction, you can increase your square footage with the amount of area around the building. It's called a frontage modification increase. Another way of increasing your area is by adding firewalls, because if you add a firewall, the code treats it as 2 separate buildings. That means you can have a larger building because of that firewall. Now, if you add sprinklers to that and you add the modifications for open frontage, that means tripling your square footage by having sprinklers in the open frontage around the building.
Did I show you this last week? No. Of course, she's from the Wood Council, so they're pushing heavy on that timber. But that's pretty amazing that, shows this flexibility in the code, huh? A lot more flexibility than you think. Huh?
She did not look very enthusiastic about that.
Oh, you gotta figure a boss that go make a video now. I know I worked in an engineering firm. That was half of our work. That's how I get to this spot. Yeah, so there's a lot there. I didn't expect everybody to follow every little bit, but all of a sudden you're seeing things that we talked about, building types and the why the fire, how fire codes are manipulated, unprotected, protected. That's the main takeaway there. So that you can look these things up on the charts. She said another table, 602, right, or 601?
601, yes.
Yeah, you want to tab those tables for what you're going to need those in the future. Those are the ones, you might only have 2 or 3 questions like that on the test, in depth on fire, building types, codes, and ratings. But I mean, it's worth it because I know generally you'll get 1. That's the ones that test you. Those, they test you at a few different levels. All right, let's see. What else do I have to go over real quickly? You did see the building deconstruction video I had, huh?
Deconstruction?
Yeah, Las Vegas blow up of a building.
No.
I'll save that. You should save that for last. So, double checking. We hit all the definitions, the mass code things that you have to do. We did the high probability, the Safety scaffolds I didn't do. I just wanted to get back into OSHA before I begin to forget about it. But I send you the resources, like the safety scaffolds. Now remember, the IBC has a section on safety. So most of your safety questions are going to be answered in the OSHA book. And they usually say per OSHA, because they differ a little bit in the IBC. But just remember, you have a safety section in the IBC. And it usually be the items like, for walkways, what is the minimum height? You know, when you walk outside, they put the scaffolds up around buildings to protect you from falling items downtown. And then there's the minimum height. You know, I noticed nobody's making them to the minimum height required by the IBC. So let's say if you have a look up under right now, give me the minimum height for scaffolds, temporary scaffolds around a building project, building being constructed.
Is that in OSHA 29?
No, it's in the IBC. You would have it too in an OSHA book. If they don't say by OSHA, you're going to want to go to the IBC. Any question? That'll keep you busy for a few minutes. I gave you a hint because I told you there's a section of the book called Safety.
Is this it? I don't spoil it.
No, the safety. Oh, you found the answer, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, good. That's good. Yeah. No, I'm as bad. I'll give it away every
Throw
time.
it.
No problem. Oh, okay. You're the middleman. Since you got now you have time to do everything.
Yes.
You're like the AV monitor now. Got these three of them. We're going to pass to the left and to the right.
What's the answer? 568. Sorry.
Oh, you're already giving it away.
Twisted, man.
That's a second.
This is where I feel I can't fit anything now. Freaking out.
Because there's another two right there, right? You want that one? Oh, you like the taste. Reps. Good reps. I'll give them one more there. Okay? You got enough? 1, 2, 3? Yeah. Perfect. All right, so how did we do with the question there for the fun of it? Minimum height for the bottom? 8 feet. Yeah, none of them are 8 feet because all scaffolds were always 7 foot. And then they even jack them all the way, and they even put wood under them. They don't even achieve the height. They were 6 foot, I think, and then they try to do everything they can. But the scaffolds haven't been made to that height yet. Oh well. Somebody's manufacturing them.
So close enough works.
Close enough gets away with it. That's the $100 in the envelope. Somehow. Yeah, I mean, there's always bending. You like downtown. The inspector's going to bust you on that. But they will be by the time 10 years down the road when they phase out all the old scaffolding. At least they'll have the bottom row that should be that 8 foot. So there you go. You got the test. We could talk about that. I can give you a little bit on that. The scaffolding. So read through the safety, the things I give you on safety too. there's things you can commit to memory. Does everybody know the height of a toe board on a scaffold? It's this board, it's a piece of wood that stands up. You have a scaffold plank, right? You're supposed to have toe boards. Let's say you have two side by side. You're supposed to have something standing there. It's usually a 1x4, but it can be a 2x4 too. So, because of that, the height for the, just like I say here, the height for a toe board is, generally was always 3.5 inches. Okay, because,
2x4.
yeah, it makes sense, right? Then some smart guy figured to change it, and now it's like 3 inches and by OSHA. So you gotta be careful where you get your standard from. If you go to OSHA, you'd see it's different.
What is that, the toe board?
Yeah.
Never heard.
Never heard of a toe board? Yeah. They also call that in kitchen cabinets underneath, a lot of times called a kick.
Oh, toe kick.
Yeah, toe kick, they call it, it's close, so,
Yeah.
you know, but with scaffolding, you're supposed to have that on there. I said supposed to. I know, I said, yeah, I know Massachusetts, I know guys out there in residential, yeah, supposed to, but it's an OSHA regulation.
I mean, I've never
I had a union crew build a huge one downtown Boston. I don't think they ever put on a toe board.
Why would you think that you'd have to have that toe board
They
for?
don't kick stuff off.
Yeah, tools don't go, yeah, big,
Makes sense.
yeah, the hammer doesn't go to, maybe, and you get also an idea of where your edge is, so you can't step out a little bit, and just get one leg off to the side. We used to call it the 1.5 inch heart attack, my friend called it. We'd be up there on the pump jacks, and where the planks overlap, and you just step off that. God, does the brain know so well that for some reason you are not at that level surface? That wakes you up, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think it's everybody's had that happen. I mean, God, the 1.5 inch heart attack. Yeah, read through this. It has a lot of things, protection over. There's the toe boards one. Need to be 3 inches on a walking surface. Remember, it changes. That's scaffolds, and then there's different rules for pump bracing. So make sure pump jacks. Make sure you're looking up what they're asking for, because different sections look a lot alike. You got toe boards in about 5 different areas. But the tops of scaffolds and flat platforms, and you'd be surprised how many places it's put. Okay, so you got the test. You're on your own. We got about 45 minutes, right? Yeah, I'm shooting at let's see what happens. I'll give you a hint. Some of these you've seen, right? You might want to use the method where I say, go from the beginning to the end of the test, answer as many as you can by gut feeling, or reserve the last 5 minutes for gut feeling, and finish them. I like the low-hanging fruit. Go through it. Yeah. Try to get as many as you can. But it's up to you. Everybody's got their own strategy. I know, huh? So, don't worry. Look at the clock. I got you covered. It gets worse, man. I get worse as I go along. Okay, so you got some free time there. Here's your countdown clock. Yeah, we'll do 40 minutes. I'm counting 40 minutes, so whatever you guys said up front, you got done ahead of time.